Tim, I want to get to the situation. Well, not situation. When you and Greg Wyshynski, a reporter, had a shot and he put it on Twitter. What did the NHL say to you? What was their big beef that you actually sat down with, a reporter and had a drink with him? What was their complaint to you?
Well, I always wanted to ask Gary because I talked to Gary Bettman several times after that. I'd see him at training camp. Him and I would always talk, and I always wanted to ask him, Gary, because it was a tequila shot, right? If it was a glass of red wine, would it have been as bad as a tequila shot? But it was the whole perception. And Greg and I are friends now, and we text and so on. And he was a reporter that just wrote articles about me every game. And when I got picked for the Olympics, he wrote a big article about me. And it was just it was always a Tim Peel thing. It wasn't any other refs. And I didn't profess to be the best ref in the league. I wasn't Andy Van Helleman. But we have 34 refs that we take every year to the league or to the playoffs. And I was always in the top 20, and I'd work the playoffs every year, whether it be the first round, second round, third round, whatever. So I was one of the guys that Coley and Steven could count on to work the playoffs. But according to his reports, I was the worst ref in the league, and I didn't understand it. So he's doing this podcast with Jeff Merrick, and I know Jeff well, and Jeff's like, I got to get you guys together. You guys got to sit down. And so we sat down, and I never really got to the point where, why are you writing about me? But we drank and we watched hockey one night at Foley's Bar in Manhattan. And we've all probably been there. And at the end of the night, we take a tequila shot. The bartender takes a picture, takes a tequila shot, and he puts it on social media. And it wasn't his fault. Like I was, I didn't tell him not to. And so the next morning, I wake up in Times Square at the hotel, and Wacom calls me, and he's like, we got a problem. He goes, and we weren't, I wasn't on social media then, as a ref, you're not allowed to be on social media. And I'm sure our guys have fake accounts, but even back then, because that's going back 2015, I don't even think I had a fake account. And so he sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is not good.
You're like, oh, I was just on a Southwest flight. What are you talking about?
So he's like, Steven's really cool. He's an awesome boss, and he really protects our guys. He's like,
good guy.
You know what? I think I can smooth this over. I think I can smooth this over. I'll handle it. 45 minutes later, he calls me up. He goes, you got to call Coley Campbell, right? He goes, you got to call Coley. So I call Coley up, and Coley's like, you can't worry about what these reporters say. Coley was awesome during the whole time. And he goes, you can't worry about what these reporters say. People write shit about me all the time because of Gregory. And so then about 20 minutes later, Wacom calls. He goes, you've been suspended for a game. You've been taken off the game in Jersey tonight. And I was like, no, please don't do it. Please. And he's like, we got to protect the shield. And now I look back at the time, because it killed me, because it was embarrassing to me and my family, and it really hurt. But I understand now. I was telling a story on the golf course the other day. Someone asked me about it, and I said, say I go out that night and I miss a couple calls, or I call a couple penalties that aren't very good, or whatever. All the reporters are going to write is, he's fucking hungover. He was out drinking all night. So they did the right thing. As much as it hurt at the time, it was the right thing to do, but it stung, I think they fined me 10 grand and suspended me a game.
Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? 10
No.
G's?
Hey, I know you said you guys are buddies, but what the hell is he throwing that on the internet for? Like, let's be honest. You didn't tell him not to, but come on.
After ripping you, he cost you 10K. Did he help you with the fine or no?
I don't know.
Right.
Listen, I don't, you know what?
That's an absolute shriveling by him.
Oh,
He
yeah?
fucked you every which way.